Hi everybody, it's your buddy Brad here, and today I am going to kind of explain to you how to use the circle linear variation. And first I am also going to go over how I kind of get information about one variation. So I'm going to shoot myself down here, and when researching variations for JWildfire, I always start at this link here. I will put all these links in the uh, description for this video. And this shows a list of all of the variations that are in JWildfire. And this is on the JWildfire GitHub. So for this one, I am going to look under the circle linear, which is right here. And in every within the code of every variation, almost, unless it's if it was a variation created by somebody other than Andreas, he always tries to put a link to the original variation. And you can see this line here. It says Circulinear by Erlax, and then it has the website or the link to where it was originally posted. So then if you just click that link, and here is where the plugin was originally released by Erlax. He actually did he did all of the a few of the circle plugins. Sometimes it gives information on what their variations do. On this one, there's not too much information. So what you do is you just download the zip, save it to wherever you want. I actually already have it saved, so I'm going to click no here. Then if you go to where it's at, circles plugins, and it has all the codes that Apophysis uses. These are all for Apophysis. These will not work in JWildfire except if there is a flame file, like here. This is a circles.flame. This you can load into JWildfire. So if we go to JWildfire, load, circles plugin, circles, and it has a flame file here. If you click open, sometimes there's a lot of flames. For these variations, it only has one flame, which doesn't give you much variety. But in this case, what I like to do, I'm going to delete this. On the forum, on the JWildfire forum, there is this Colorgrid reference baseline. This was created by Greg Helt, also known as Cozy G on the forum. You can find it if you go to the forum. You click search, just type in all one word, Colorgrid, and all of these are, you can click on the first one here, and then scroll to the top. and then you can select all, right click and copy it. Then in JWildfire, click from clipboard, and then hit the quick save. Now if you go to your browser, do a little refresh here. You will always have this in your browser. I loaded, since these are all by months, once a month I just save it in as a quick save file because I use this grid a lot, and I mean like a lot. It really is a helpful tool. So what we do, once we get it, to figure out what circle linear does, we just click Add Final. Scroll up till we see circle linear. And right away it doesn't do too much on its own. You see it just has this one empty space here with a circle. But now this gives us a chance to look at the settings for the variation. So the SC actually is like the size of all of the circles. So if we shrink this down some, you start to see you have two types of circles. You have the ones where it has the black ring and then it has a circle in the middle. But then you also have these other warped type circles where you can see the grid lines are going around it. It's kind of like pushing out. So next we look at the K param here, and this will adjust the size. Let me zoom in some here. It will adjust the size of this circle here. You see, I bring it down, the circle gets bigger. Oh, I'm sorry, I guess it's kind of like a donut type shape. It's actually making the circle bigger, but it's making the hole smaller. Well, it's not making the circle bigger, but it's just making the donut hole smaller. And as you see, it doesn't do it for these warped circles here. So we can also change the amount of how many of these different types of circles we have. So the first one gives us the warped circles. Let's set this back down to about 0.5 again. Then density 2 the higher the density of this, the more of the donut type shapes that you will have. So like, see here, here's a warped circle. Now it makes almost all of these have the I'm going to zoom out here some. The higher the density of density 2, the less amount of the warp circles you will have. And you can actually set the source between I don't think it works in negative numbers, but you can set it anywhere from 0 to about 2, depending on what you want. K, if you see it kind of works backwards and it like pushes everything out instead of pulling it in if you use a negative value on K. And if you make it too big, you notice at 1, you don't see any circle. It's basically all filled in. And then if you go above 1, then it's expanding the holes out past the circle. If that is making any sense. But this is, so you want to probably have a value between 0 and 1 here. Also, if you get the density too high, it goes density 1 and density 2 work good between between 0 and 2. Above that, you won't see much of a difference. And then what this reverse does, if you pay attention to like these 4 here, these 4 warp circles, they don't have the donut hole. We just go down to 1 or 0 now. You see that now these have the donut holes, and all the other ones that had the donut holes are now warped. So it just reverses the effect. Get back to 1. Now the X and Y values, now during my experimentation, I have not seen where these change. But if you find some place where they do make a difference in your flame, please let me know. So now I'm going to zoom out here a little bit more. Now what the seed is you can change, it kind of randomizes where all these circles show up. So if you just move up, start to see where all these circles are changed. Circles of different types are changing location and the amount of them. Of course, you can always change the amount by decreasing the SC number. So that might be a little bit hard for you to see here. So then, another thing that I like to do when exploring a variation is if you just create a new flame, go to Circle Linear, and I like to use the post mirror. I'm not going to change any of the default settings here. Shrink it down. Might have to shrink it down a little bit more. Change the gradient here. But also, when testing things, I like to use this first South Sea gradient. For me, it's normally pretty bright, so you can actually see see the flame pretty decently. So then if we start playing with the params here, we can see the circles coming around. And then I just play with the triangle some. And you can see if you, right now I'm just having it on the x-axis on the post mirror. Sometimes you can also add the y, both y and x, or just y. It all depends on the effect you want to use. By shrinking the triangle some, just basically now I'm just playing around to see if I can get anything cool. Changing the seed, the densities. I'm going to also increase the brightness here. So if you notice on the density too, if you put it to 0, you don't have any of the donut type shapes. You just have the warped circles. So of course you do want to have a little bit of those. But also I might try getting rid of the post mirror, and then you can always add other variations like linear. If you don't see anything right away, try expanding the triangle so you see something. Then playing around, you see all the circles. I would play also up. Julia is a good one to try when testing out variations. Either the Julia or the Julian. Reset that. But basically, you just you just try some different variations on the variation you want to learn about. I think that is about it for now. If you have any questions, please let me know. Until later, bye.